Alright everyone, welcome to this Phase 2 of the Grand Faction race. You can see this right here already, it's a big one. Thank you all for all the views on the last one. I didn't cover it in my other videos because those ones were made in February. Yes, that's right, they were made last I guess 2 months ago as of this video. As of right now, of recording, it's 3/11, so March 11th, which means it was only 1 month ago that I recorded them and finished all of them all the way through June 15th. So I've got quite a few. Let's go over this race before we actually start it to show what's in store for us. First of all, we've got the classic, the first part that happens. These two on the side are speed 1, and this one's double the speed. However, they have to go through this part, which only gives the first marble a slight boost if they're lucky, which means it really does nothing. But it grabs the most amount of marbles, which means the most amount of marbles are going to be in last. And since for some reason the red marbles seem to have a keen liking to cheating and taking first place no matter what I try, it seems like that's probably going to be what's happening. Actually, let's do something about that. Let's do something about that right now. There. Problem solved. That's going to have so many less red marbles, and some of the blue and green marbles are still going to be affected, so it's good balancing. Now, anyway, as you can see, this middle marble is going straight in to the center, which means they're going to be put up this escalator, which will bring them into this little ice area. And as you can see, these marbles have just closely taken the first place from that marble, and on top of that, from what I saw, that marble actually went into the center path, which is slower, into the first swirl pit of the 4 swirl pits. And actually, what happened? Oh, there's the last marble. Just right on cue, speak of the devil, the last marble comes in, down into the second swirl pit, and into the third swirl pit to get into the last swirl pit. This swirl pit's, in my opinion, the favorite because it goes fastest. Anyway, all 5 marbles are going to go into this little center area. Wait for it. And 1 more marble. All 5 have reached the center area, where they will now be put into the next part. I don't remember pressing play, but I guess I did. Anyway, into this little middle swirl pit area that is made of grass somehow, but I guess to be fair, that one over there is made of the same exact material for its walls. But either way, no matter what, this little swirl pit, or this bigger swirl pit, which is bigger than all of the other swirl pits from my knowledge, it might just be the exact same size as that one over there. Oh, whoops, actually I clicked that. Clicked it or not, that area is actually, this big one is actually a safeguard, if you couldn't tell from the fact that this marble hasn't even hit that one. This is the actual size. However, this blade right here is going so fast you can't really tell because we're on minimum time, but it's going really fast. But it goes so fast that marbles actually clip out sometimes and get into this bigger area. However, eventually we'll find ourselves with all the other marbles in here. I like to call this area the blender for obvious reasons, although blenders have their blades on the bottom. It doesn't really matter because this is a marble game, not a cooking simulator. Anyway, they make their way into this area where they will get caught by this, there it is, by this gear and released. Well, they would have been released if they made it. There it is. And in case they don't make it, there is, like, in case they get stuck in these walls, because that will happen, this teleporter actually prevents that. And I don't know where I set it to teleport. I teleport it right here into this center area to skip the whole swirl pit part, because that's not very good if that's not even your marble's fault. But marble's fault or not, this area is the final area before we actually get into the real race. So, speaking of the real race, let's start it. 2 laps, 60-second disqualification time, so I wouldn't be a minute behind the marble. Yeah, so basically, if you're 60 seconds, so if somebody finished and you and the next marble doesn't make it in 60 seconds, then they will be disqualified along with every single other marble, just to make sure that this doesn't go on forever. Because there will be marbles that get lost, because even that big safeguard isn't enough to protect from the marbles. Some will just get flung all the way out there, and I've seen some get lost in the last one too. They just really don't like it. Some of them just straight up rage quit. Rage quitting or not though, let's start this race. But first, let's actually meet our contestants, so that way my computer can die one more time before we actually start it. We've got our first subscriber that actually set their thing to public, Carly Moore. Reminder, if you don't want to be in these races, just go ahead and comment. I won't count that as a comment to turn you into a comment marble. I'm not that mean. But we've got Carly Moore, and we've got Dat Winsboy, the last winner of the last race, who is now officially on the streak, a victory streak. He is a winner. And over here we've got Kyler, Kyler and Benzie07898. And then over here we have CXR, Croc Dondi, Kyler YT. I bet you can see the connection on that one. And I don't know if I'm missing any more, but missing or not, those are the marbles that I can see. So let's start this race. There are 50 of each marble of each person on this race. The rest of the well, there's also 5 of me too, but the rest of the 5,000 marble pool is just numbers, which will be a little bit hard, make it a little hard to see, but that's fine with me. If you don't like it, let me know. I'll see if I can find a way to fix it. But while this thing is going, this is the whole track. This Grand Faction race will be completed track once this middle area is filled in, and then we will work on a brand new Grand Faction course. Who knows? Maybe that one will be in space. Well, no, because then that would take away from the other races, the normal races. So we're just gonna stick with this one. But give me your ideas in the comments if you have any on ways we can get the marbles randomized and all raced. I guess they make the race interesting, I guess. Because my brain is not an infinite pool of ideas. However, I do have a few. I've already made one already, actually. I've made like quite a few. I think I've made like 4 or 5 little areas that we can add on into this. Those aren't guaranteed to be here, but as you can see, this randomizer is already working. You can see less red marbles already up there, whereas before they'd just be straight up already there. And instantly you can see all of the marbles are just like making it. There's so little red marbles. And let's see who gets the first place. Who knows? Because there's 3 marbles here. 4959 gets first place, followed by 3502 and 4988. 13 back here, and 330. Now, of course, we can't guarantee that they'll remain in first place because they have to go into that area down here. Oh my, whoa. I don't know what just happened there. Anyway, the results for the top 20 are they in? The results for the top 20 are in, and we've got some players in the top 20. That is very cool to see, although I don't know how they're updating like that. I think it just automatically updates. I don't think it updates by the checkpoint anymore. There might have been an update, but who knows. We've got Ben C and Kyler YT straight up in first place. Or not first place. They could be considered first place because they're in the first, like in the front of all the players, which would count them. But it seems like they're switching. I don't know what's happening. If they did switch it to like it automatically updates no matter checkpoint or not, I feel like they could change it back, because it is a little annoying to see that whenever they're all stuck like in the same area, they're just gonna be swapping around. But anyway, oh, I didn't reset this. It's like leaving the oven on. There we go. See who makes it, because just as these ones are gonna make it up, these ones will too. So it's really, the clock is ticking, and the Reds seem to be dominating again. It's like looking at nuclear waste, like the cartoon depiction of nuclear waste, because let's remember, nuclear waste doesn't look like that. But either way, 4729 seems to be the marble in first place. But will that last? Because 4904 and 4904, 4646, or 3643 and 3372 seem like they're really eager to get that first place. They're really just rushing over. It's really anybody's game here. Let's speed it up a little bit because my computer can handle that right now. 4729 looks like they're set. But who really knows? It's anyone's game with these tracks unless you're red, because then you're guaranteed a win for some reason. I don't know what's going on with that, because they're really persistent. Red team's like super duper persistent. But it looks like 46 actually steals 4729's spot, and 4729 gets pushed far back. And finally we can actually have a steady placement instead of having it swap around all the time, and that was kind of distracting. I really couldn't pay attention there. But pay attention or not, we can now, because 46 is in the lead, and hopefully they're on the side too, so it seems like they'll be guaranteed. Speed it up a little bit and not look at those marbles, because it's really lagging up my computer. I mean, it's not really lagging up my computer. You've seen what really lagging looks like. In fact, I scrapped another version of this that I just attempted recording because it crashed, because I had 5,000 marbles on the map and then started the race. It was bad. But either way, lag or not, 46 seems to be taking it here. Maintaining their first place. Oh, and it's close. 4729 is really angry at 46 here. But angry or not, will they be able to get into the center here? Let's figure this out. Oh, 3503 takes it. Completely unexpected, except it was kind of expected, because again, it's anyone's game. But what really wasn't expected is that 3503 would maintain that for all the other whirlpools, judging from how many were behind him. But some of these marbles do look like they're going a little fast. However, that does not phase 3503, because 3503 gets set straight into the pit. I don't have a good name for it. The lawn? It's something. But whatever it is, it's going to be... 3503 is going to be sitting here for a while. And 438 and 100. 364... 3461... 3181... 4698... 4959... Wow, I'm speaking too fast. All of those marbles in the front are probably going to get a bigger chance of getting first here. But really, all the marbles are coming in now. Of course, we still got some still patiently waiting their turn in the front. We can see some of that Wins Boys marbles here. Not a single player in the top 20 right now. That is something to see for sure. Looks like actually all of that Wins Boys marbles are getting in here. Is this truly the end for Dat Wins Boy? We'll figure this out at the end of the race. But it looks like it's the end for red because all this radioactive is absolutely destroying my PC and their rankings because they're all in the center due to my definitely planned plan of putting the faster and trap on the end in the middle because the red takes it all. I planned that again. Let's see if we can find any players here. We see all of the players probably. Well, at least the very least, most of them are right here in this little flaming waterfall, making their way into the galaxy. Again, like I said in the last episode, this does a pretty good job at replicating a galaxy. I wouldn't say it's exact, but it does make a big swirl as it is revolving around a center hypothetical, or I guess fake, faux, supermassive black hole. I'd just call it a normal hole in this case. But it is ripping the fabric of Marble's reality, Marble-ality, and we are making... and they are still revolving around it, so it is technically a black hole or a wormhole because it is teleporting, but that is already in the game, so I can't say that. But in the game or not, it does do a pretty good job. If they were going a little slower, I feel like it would have replicated it better because they cling to each other, and the fact that they slowed down makes it so that way the edges like make a swirl. You can see it kind of better here, and you can definitely see it better than the last episode because of the glaring red all over my screen. As with over here, oh my god. But slowly but surely the marble pool is filling up. We can see one of Dat Winsboy's marbles in there. I can see a few player marbles actually making it in here. Let's see if we can find any. We got me, Kyler, Croc Dondi, Christmas D, Ben C. Ben C again. There's a lot of Ben C's here. We've got a few CXRs, me, Kylers, and Ben C's. I don't see that many Croc Dondis, and I don't see anyone else. Oh, there's another Dat Winsboy. Slowly but surely. Eventually, all of the marbles will be in here. That's actually the goal. And as I said before, some marbles will decide to quit mid-race. I didn't even see those two over there. Is that a marble or is that just something on my screen? That is a marble. And we've got a red marble here. 1256 is also off the course. The last winner of the Grand Faction race might be washed here. As you can see, all the reds are actually dispersing. It's a lot less radioactive than in there. But I think there's like singular marbles that make all that glow. I am definitely turning that down by next episode. That is hard to watch. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's bad. But bad or not, there are like so many red marbles in this swirl pit, but none of them seem to want to go. And as soon as I say that, red marbles actually enter, and there's a red marble that lost. 1258, there's motion blur on my screen, that's how laggy it's getting. Or it feels like motion blur, it's so hard to see. But as you can see, like I said, it does slow you down a bit because one marble at a time, what am I saying, are able to leave, and some of them get into portals that send them straight back, which is why there's still, well, there's not that many, but there are still marbles up here falling for eternity. If only I placed the portal better, because apparently that's where that one is, so I'm just gonna move this one a little closer this way. There, that probably makes it fair for the red marble. Well, I guess less fair for the red marbles, and more fair for all marbles. So now they'll actually make it through, like, normally. Unless they're that unlucky, oh my god. And it looks like they are that unlucky, because I am not seeing a single marble in this loop escaping. Let's move it a little closer. There. And then just for aesthetic purposes, I'm going to move it back 1, 2. Or actually, I'm going to move it back 1, 2. Or I'm going to move it back 2, 2. Alright, and finally, the last of the marbles actually make it out. However, like I said, they can still go through these portals, but it seems like they aren't, which is very good for them. However, what isn't good for them is the fact that they're still in last place. Ah, they should have been faster. but their speed won't matter anymore. But they should not give up anyway, because there is still a chance, because this little blender is actually the reason why this is here. Once all of them go into this area, it looks super cool, and it evens the playing field almost instantly, because first place marbles can get last place, and last place marbles can get closer to first. I wouldn't say first, but it's very easy to see. We can see one of Carly's marbles. We've got all the marbles are over here. Oh, it looks like it looks horrible. I wouldn't say the same about this one though. I think this one looks a lot better. But this one looks horrifying to look at. I do not want to be over there. But over here, we do see this is how the marbles look normally. As you can see, there is gravity here, gravity things here, but that doesn't. Those were originally I had like a thing that worked pretty similar to this, but it was more tube shaped and it was a lot slower gravity and they went a lot faster, and it just took too long, so I got rid of it. So that's why these gravity things are here. But we can see all the marbles slowly funneling in. Once you get into this area, you've basically guaranteed your place into here for now, because as you can see, we are halfway full. Once it reaches this bar, I will immediately manually drop it with the G button, and that will instantly send them all straight into here. And if you've watched the last episode, you know that not many marbles actually get into the teleporter at once. So it will, as long as you're in the front and middle, you should be set. Like for example, our first marble 3468, 4830, 3461. There's 3461 right there. They are probably going to instantly make it. But if you're on the top or in like any area that doesn't meet this standard, you're probably guaranteed to not make it. So like around this level, if you're in this level, you're probably going to reach last, because this booster only boosts the bottom marbles, so it is not very good for the top marbles. Slowly but surely they're making their way. This area has actually been emptied, which is a good sign. Rest in peace 3920 back here. But all of the marbles, the last 3 marbles, are on the escalator now and are going to be sent into the whirlpool, which means we are getting there really a lot faster than I didn't think we were going. Yes, I thought this was going to take quicker, this was going to go faster. But that doesn't matter anymore because it's not going faster, so we're just going to wait patiently. I will time-lapse this whirlpool. After the computer stops screaming at me, we will get to see how this looks all beautiful in time-lapse format. So, we are almost nearing the line. My computer has been getting a little worse. I don't know what's happening here, but it wasn't doing that before, to my knowledge. That is fine, since I shouldn't be moving my camera much anyway. Because we have this little spectate feature, it should be a little better. Although I am seeing that it is doing that over there, so that might not be good. But anyway, the last marbles are leaving the swirlpool now. They are leaving the swirlpool, so that means that they are, well, I guess the first whirlpool. So that means that this area should be full very soon, although that... What was that? But that should have no correlation to this, because we are just about there. Once this little mountain right here reaches its peak, I will press the button and it will release them all, which should hopefully free up some frames, or maybe drop it more. Who knows? Maybe it'll just get worse. And we're almost there. Come on. We're just like 1 marble away. 2 marbles away. Okay, the marbles are taking their time. The marbles. No, I thought we were getting close. I guess we weren't. This is gonna take a really long time, isn't it? I'm gonna speed it up. Oh, that was a bad idea. Oh, it actually looks like that fixed the problem. No, it did not. Alright, I'm just gonna say that was the mark, because it technically is if you angle your camera right. The marbles are released, and this area will stay open for the next lap, because the same thing twice is not very entertaining in my opinion. Anyway, the avalanche has started. We do have quite a big gate just to make sure that they don't fall over, but if they do, then that's fine, because it's all in competition. 3127 seems to be taking the front. Oh, 3062 steals that brutally. That is truly the most brutal thing I've ever seen, other than this frame rate. Oh my god. I truly don't know what's happening here. But whatever is happening seems to happen most when I'm near marbles, which I guess kind of makes sense. So we can see here, all the marbles that were in this big pile have made it down. 3062 just about to make it. Was there a checkpoint? Yes, there's a no, that's not a checkpoint. I thought it was. 2838 takes the first position inside, the second position inside, with Carly Moore being the first one on their first race too, taking the first place. That is truly impressive. We've got 2838 getting near the bottom, but we are not making it to that point yet. Let's speed it up a little bit just so you can see what it looks like when it's sped up. There it goes. That is what I was looking for. And as it slows down, it'll look even cooler as all the marbles clump up near the bottom. Oh, that's a lot of marbles. Yeah, I'm sure that'll happen eventually. But until then, this big... Whoa! We've got marbles already finishing. 2048 takes first. 3519 takes second. 1573 takes third. So those are our top 3 for lap 1. They are on their second lap. And all these marbles back here are stuck waiting their turn for them to become in the back there. Oh my god, the red is so powerful. You can see it from here. Can you? It's right there. But it looks like that means that our red marble's probably gonna be the one to win, because they're on the second part and they're already in the lead on the fast track, I guess you could call it. But as you can see, this is what I was talking about. It's a lot nicer whenever you're not looking at the color red the whole time. However, it does look pretty cool either way, I will say. Like, look at that. We've got Dat Winsboy and a few other marbles. I'm in here, and there's only 5 of me this time, which is very impressive for me. Good job, me. But, person or not, there is a lot of reds here. You can definitely see that. Or maybe there's just like 2 red marbles. We'll never know. But it looks like all the marbles have made it. And we've already got our lap 2 starting. However, until it gets interesting over there, until it gets to a point that we haven't seen already, we are just going to stay here and watch this happen. Or will we? 3159 is on the track. Instantly, in the background, we can see nothing. We can see the marbles dropping still, but we cannot see those marbles dropping, which means that there are no more marbles that are gotten in the whirlpool area, which means we have successfully launched all of the marbles onto lap 2. Slowly but surely we can see that happening. There I go, and a few other marbles. That's what I was talking about there. This thing is so fast it just launches them. So we can see this thing's working its magic. You can see them getting stuck and instantly teleporting back into the center. There was a Carly Moore marble. There's CXR. There's me, Kyler. There's that Wins boy right there. There's a few others. All of them, well, I wouldn't say slowly but surely, but very gradually are getting emptied into this area. I wouldn't say gradually either, but I can't find another verb that would make sense in that situation other than quickly. And that is not a very normal, well, they're very quickly entering the final area. Look at that, they're all piling up into this center area. Although, I guess, to be fair, it would be slowly but surely they're trickling because there's 5,000 marbles. Let's remember that. That is half of them back in the start right now in the matter of like a minute or two. That is quite slow, I'd say, for a fast-paced marble race. Although 3519, oh, 4463 and 3867 take the tops. 3867 skipping an entire section instantly. What a cheater. Although I will allow it because I don't care. Although cheating I'd say more would count as something worse. What is 10? What are you, huh? Well, I hope the marble that, there it is. Wait, no. What? 4858. Okay. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, 1265. Oh, right. Yeah, they already made it down. 4858 on fire and burning alive, pushing and saving 1069. That was 1069, right? Yeah, 1069 has officially been saved by a marble. What a win. They might not actually win, but they will win in our hearts for that heartwarming moment. I'm judging from the fact they've already caught up with all the other marbles that we're gonna see a winner sometime soon. So let's move over to this area where all the marbles are leaving. There's that Wins boy. There's that Wins boy again. Let's see who else joins. Mostly numbers, it looks like. But I'm gonna assume all of the names are over there. Oh, I saw one, but I didn't get to see its name. It was moving too fast, and I was looking at the funnel area. We got a winner. 459 has won and going in for a victory lap. 4463 seems to be the one in the quote-unquote lead right now. Let's see if they get the win in this one. 4463 gets second place with 7 minutes extra. Let's see who, or 7 seconds. 7 seconds extra. Let's see if anyone else can get in here in the 60-second time frame. I think I just saw one. Two more marbles make it. Dat Wins boy might actually. Dat Wins boy secures his streak. In fact, I think he would have qualified, if I remember from the last episode, he would have qualified for another streak again. However, he's already got a streak. 2695 gets 6th place. Kyler YT staying in 7th place, even though he's nowhere near the front. 3104 gets 7th place. 3899 gets 8th place. 4910 gets 9th place. 4798 gets 10th. 4031 gets 11th. Dat Wins boy gets 12th. 13th belongs to 2976. 14th belongs to 3915. 15th belongs to 2065. 16th belongs to 757. 17th belongs to 3642. 18th belongs to 843. 19th belongs to 4693. And 20th belongs to 4268. That is our top 20th. Only 2 players have actually made it, and both marbles belong to a one player. So one player made the top 20th. Which means only one player actually retains it. And what was 459? 459 was a red marble. Red marbles retain their win, so Carly Moore gets a second win. Which I guess I would consider, well, no, because they're not in the top 5, or yeah, top 5. So no, top 3. Yeah, they're not in the top 3, so they don't qualify themselves. But if they were 459, they would have qualified. They do get the win again. That was my alarm going off, if you could hear it. They could get it again, but who knows? They could get a streak next race. But like I said, who knows? Maybe they might not. Maybe they will. That's the whole point of these videos. We've got quite a big marble mess up here, but it is called Marble Monday Madness Monthly, I think. It's one of those. It's like a big jumble of M's. Monthly Monday Marble Madness. Grand Faction Race. We've got all the marbles, all the horses keep on, or wait, no, it's hold your horses. All the deer, all of them are going to win eventually, but until then, we are just about rolling up to 10 minutes. So who knows? We need all of them to win because the players need to know their own place, assumedly. I need to know the player's place. But until then, we've got Dat Wins Boy. I am in here, guaranteed Dat Wins Boy. Ben C is guaranteed to be on there. Carly Moore, Dat Wins Boy again. Kyler YT, another Dat Wins Boy. Carly Moore, Dat Wins Boy again. Dat Wins Boy can't stop winning. Dat Wins Boy can't stop winning. Croc Dondi's in here. CXR's in here. Mostly numbers here, but that's what they mostly are. We've got another 2 Carly Moores. We've got CXR. We've got... oh no, it's the same marble. Me, Kyler, CXR again. Carly Moore, Kyler YT. Me, Kyler, Carly Moore, Croc Dondi, me, Kyler again. There's so many, but I guess there is 50 of each. I still don't know for sure if they all finished, but I'm pretty sure they did, but we just want to make sure all the numbers get their placements. But it looks to me like these are winners on our hands here. Let's take a little speed boost. And let's wait for them all to finish. Our final time lapse of the video for you to watch at your own pleasure. If you want to see the end, I'll probably have the timestamp up on the video right now. It is the race over again. In the top 20, we have 459 as the record holder at 7 minutes 50 seconds. Number 2 is 4463, 7 seconds and 899 milliseconds off. 4786 with 12 seconds off. I'm just gonna round them up. 3766 with 13 seconds off. Dat Wins Boy with 16 seconds up. 2695 with 20 seconds off. 3104 with 24 seconds off. 3899 and 4910 with 27 seconds off both. 4798 with 26 seconds, 984 milliseconds. Yeah, you get it. You can read. These are all of the marbles we have gotten. All of the players are done. Results are going on screen now.